Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today I am going to be doing a quick overview of the Bass Puzzle grass piece. Now this bait has originated in Japan in a small shop that a guy over there runs. He does small drops of these baits, and sometimes they make their way over to the United States. And you can find them on thehookuptackle.com when they do have drops. And he does drops in different colors of skirts. This one is the sake bomber, and it's 1/2 ounce with the standard blade. They do have a mini blade, which is fractionally smaller than this one, which I've not had a chance to use yet. They also have baits ranging from 3/8 to 3/4 ounce. So, you know, depending on what kind of depth you're targeting, there's some different options. But this sake bomber color, I think, only came in 1/2 ounce and 3/4 ounce. But it did come with a mini blade. Now, as it does look, it looks like a mix between the chatterbait and a spinnerbait. And I say that is probably pretty accurate description of what this bait does. It's a good hybrid in between those two. So whenever you wanted to throw a chatterbait into, like, say, a laydown, a brush pile, this is actually a good option to avoid getting hung up. Or, you know, sometimes maybe the spinnerbait flashes a little bit too much. You want a little bit more thump without throwing Colorado blades. Again, you could switch up to throwing something like this. Has a little bit more of that chatterbait thump to it. It does come through grass pretty good, but I would say, you know, it's got its ups and its downs. It definitely gets hung up in brush piles on occasion, and it does get hung up in grass as well. Sometimes you have to pop it. It doesn't start up quite like a chatterbait can, especially a jackhammer. And it's not as easy to rip through the grass as a chatterbait would be. So I would definitely say that this bait is one of those types of Goldilocks baits. You know, you're crossing in between. You know, you get some of the good and you get some of the bad of both of those. I think it definitely does have its place in fishing. You know, when you have that mix of grass and wood, and you don't want to be switching back and forth between the spinnerbait and chatterbait. You can just kind of lock this in your hand, but be aware that you might still get snagged in some laydowns. I do think there is one really big benefit of throwing this style of lure, and you can absolutely smoke this lure through the water column, and it does not blow out. You know, on an 8-to-1 gear ratio and 20-pound mono, I can really crank as fast as I can, and unless I lift the rod tip up really high, it's not going to blow out. So those times when they're really chasing, or if you're fishing in rivers for smallmouth, you know, I think this is a good option for you. Now this bait is 3 inches long from line tie to the bend of the hook shank, and with the skirt material it's about 4 inches. And it also tends to, when you kill it, it doesn't drop nose down like a spinnerbait or chatterbait would. It actually kind of flutters down almost like a senko, especially when you have a nice straight tail trailer on it. That kind of balances out pretty well. I haven't thrown it with like a paddle tail yet. The maker of these baits suggests a straight tail lure, a straight tail trailer for use with these, and I do think they have a nice action on these baits, and it doesn't impede that side to side wobble as it goes down. A more rounded trailer, something more bulky, it might impact that. I haven't thrown it enough to really say. Now, these baits can be found on the Hookup Tackle when they do get dropped. You'll have to watch for drops on the Hookup Tackle's Instagram page. They'll let you know when these baits will be coming, and you got to get on them pretty early. They do go fast because it is just one person in Japan making these. And the demand's pretty high, so you got to be on your game to find them. But it's a pretty cool little bait. I'm sure I'll be throwing it around a lot this year. It's got its place, and I can't wait to catch some big bass on it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Tight lines.